Congratulations, you got an interview. Now, what do you wear? It is a difficult question. It might seem like a silly question, but actually it's pretty important because, of course, in the interview, you're trying to make a good first impression. And ideally, you should not only be making a good first impression, but you also want to remain memorable to the interview panel even once the interview is over. So it can be a bit nerve-wracking. Maybe you thought you learned how to dress yourself when you were 5 years old, and finally you're realizing, I don't know what to wear, I suddenly don't know how to dress myself. And yeah, it seems silly, but I get you because it is stressful and it actually does matter. So we're going to go through my 5 top tips to figure out what to wear to your interview. And in case you don't know me, I'm Dalia. What I do is I help professionals to land highly paid jobs that they love. I myself have had about 24 different jobs as a communications manager. So I have done a lot of interviews and I have a lot of takeaways from those interviews in terms of figuring out how to make a good first impression. I've also interviewed other candidates. So, being on the other side of that, I've also learned what looks good and what doesn't look so good in terms of how you're presenting yourself. And especially having been on panels and interviewing other people, that's where I really noticed that, hey, what you wear and how you present yourself actually does matter. And it's kind of a shame. It's just like a low-hanging fruit. It's such a shame to ruin that first impression by not wearing the most I don't want to say appropriate, but just dressing in the best way you possibly can, the most appropriate to that role, which doesn't always look the most formal, because I've also seen people make the mistake of going too formal. So we will get into that. Make sure you've subscribed, by the way, because I share a lot of career tips and advice for branding yourself in the new economy. So subscribe to the channel. There should be a button and a bell notification. And without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing to do is to do your research on the office dress code. So you want to research the company, check out how formal is this workplace. You can do that by checking their website, checking their social media pages, see if you can get any clues. If you have an insider contact, which is the ideal, ask that person, what do you guys wear? What should I wear to my interview? And if all else fails and you just can't figure out what to wear, you can actually call up the HR department and say, hey, I have an upcoming interview, really looking forward to it. I just wanted to check, what is your dress code? What do people typically wear? Thank you so much. And then they can give you an idea of what they're wearing. If you're interviewing somewhere that is more formal, so for example, a legal office, or generally if you're working in the finance sector, those type of roles, it might be more formal. So in that case, you want to think full-on suit. For women, it could be a pantsuit, or it might be a pencil skirt with a matching blazer. For men, right, trousers or pants, depending on what country you're in, and a jacket as well. And if you are a woman, you might want to consider wearing heels, especially if you are short like me. You might want to think about wearing heels just to make yourself taller. Unfortunately, there are some of these discriminatory factors where if you're a bit shorter, people might see you as being more junior. Just these kind of think about these subconscious things, right? You might have no shame at being shorter, but other people in the office, they just see you as being smaller. And just to help boost your stature a little bit, you might want to think about wearing heels, as long as they're possible to walk in, obviously, because if you're stumbling along, that does not look confident and that's not a good look either. If the dress code is more casual, don't make the mistake of going overly casual. For example, if everyone is wearing jeans and t-shirts to the office, you could wear a pair of pants, or I'll call them trousers in case you're in the UK. So wear a pair of non-jeans type of pants, and then a tucked in shirt, as opposed to just looking completely casual. You always want to go, if you're in doubt, always go one level up from what everyone else is wearing. Because remember, there's a difference between people who have already had that job for a long time. They're just going in. It's not necessarily their best day. They're just, it's a Wednesday, I need to get through the day, and they're wearing whatever. And you, who is there to really be your best self, to shine, to impress them and create that first impression. So you do want to be at your kind of highest level of dress code, let's say. The next step, now that you've gauged just how formal you should be going, is to try it on. So you definitely want to try on your interview outfit, and you probably want to try on a couple of different options, because then you can compare the options, and that's where you realize, oh, actually this looks much better than that. And the key, and this is why, in these videos where people tell you how to dress for an interview, I think what a lot of them are missing is they say, oh, wear a blazer, wear pants, wear a skirt, wear heels, all this kind of stuff, but none of it covers how that's going to look on you. So you really want to check the fit of everything and have a look at how it all comes together. Take a photo of yourself, maybe show it to some friends, ask people for their honest opinion. And if possible, you want to think about having some clothes that you've taken into a tailor. You just want things to fit you properly. You want your trousers or your pants to hit your ankle at a certain spot, so that's how you really create that put together look. It's not the fact that you're wearing a suit, because I have seen candidates, for example, wear really baggy suits where it looks like they're swimming, and you think, are you wearing your parents' suit, right? And it actually makes them look less professional and less confident, like they're trying too hard, but it didn't really work out. So that's just something that you really want to avoid, because looking like that will definitely take away from everything you have to offer in terms of your first impression. The other reason it's so important to try things on is that you need to make sure you feel comfortable and confident in it. So you want to walk around a bit, possibly even wear it out one time, see if anything goes wrong, So definitely wear something that you have worn before. Make sure it's not the first time, and that you feel really confident in it, because you definitely don't want to have to be thinking about what you're wearing, and you want to be being able to just focus on what it is that you're saying. Another tip, just to make sure you don't do this, is be very careful about perfume or aftershave. You don't want to be memorable for your scent that you're leaving behind as you leave their office. And then, if you have any tattoos and things like that, a lot of people think, oh, well, that's who I am. I want to express myself, and that's completely fine. It's just one of those things that if you can cover it up, it just helps in case anyone has any opinion or judgment, just to not have that be one of the factors, something that they think about when they're talking to you. Obviously, again, it depends on what role you're going for. If you're in a super laid-back office where everyone else has tattoos, it's probably not a big deal at all, right? But if you're ever in doubt, why allow these things to leave a certain opinion in someone's mind when they should just be focusing on you and what it is that you have to offer? Another point that needs to be thought about is your grooming. So the polished presentation is definitely about a lot more than just your clothing. So really think about, how does my hair look? How do my nails look? I know it's a pain, but this is the time to do your nails properly or get them done. If you're overdue for a haircut, get that haircut. Don't make this be the day that you show up with wet hair, or that your hair is just messy, or anything like that. So think about your grooming and just make sure you give yourself extra time in the morning before you head off to this interview to make sure that's all really, really polished. And another point is, again, regarding the fit of your clothes. So there are a lot of clothes out there that look really good on the mannequin or on the hanger, but on you, there might be some issues. Like if you have a large chest, some things are just too low cut, even though on someone else it would be completely fine. And so you always want to, again, try things on, see how it looks on you, and don't think that, oh, someone else wore that and it looks fine, I can wear the same thing. Really look at what's the impression you are giving off. There's also the issue of, like I said before, like some people are already tall and maybe they want to forego the heels. Someone else like me is shorter, and even though I might go, oh, I just want to be comfortable, I might want to consider, hey, probably, Dahlia, you should wear those heels because you should come across as a little bit taller, right? So you really want to personalize the approach to yourself, and that's why it's good to take photos and just try to be objective about it. For some people, it's about looking really young, and you should think about, how can I actually, again, it's not about, there's nothing wrong with looking young, right? It's great, but you might want to think about, how can I look a little bit older? That's why in interviews these days, I tend to wear my glasses, because I just think it makes me look a little bit older somehow, or a little bit more professional. So just things to consider, like maybe you want to wear your glasses, think about your hair. Like I also think for me, having, well, you tell me, maybe you're more objective than I am, but I think having my hair just down like this probably makes me look a little bit younger, whereas if I have it tied up in the back like this, it makes me look a little bit older and just more professional in a way. So you want to think about that kind of thing regarding your hair, even, beard or no beard for men. Think about those kinds of things. Like even if, like for me, I usually just wear my hair down like this in my normal everyday life. But if I'm going to go to an interview, then I might consider doing it, tying it back or something like that, just to give off a slightly older, more professional look. So those are things to think about. Another thing to think about if you are a woman is your makeup. And this was something I discovered recently, especially with all the extra Zoom calls that we've been on. And that is that on Zoom, your face tends to look a lot more washed out than it does in person. So it's obviously not that professional to have like a face full of makeup at an interview. So you want to be careful about having too much makeup on at the interview, right? Again, take an objective look at your face and think, are they seeing my face or are they seeing my makeup? And you don't want their lasting impression to be, oh, makeup lady, right? But if you're doing a Zoom call especially, you might actually want to wear more makeup than usual. Even if you never wear lipstick, you might want to wear that lipstick because the color of, red will actually help them to remember you, and even sometimes pay more attention to what you're saying because the lips provide that color on screen. It sounds really silly, but these are little things that make a bit of a difference. So if you are doing a Zoom interview, what you want to do is turn Zoom on before the interview, like a good 15 minutes before, and see what you look like. Like check out your background. Like look at my background here. I think it's okay as is. But, I might want to tilt it a little bit, like to get rid of some of that, the distractions in the background, that kind of thing. Think about like the plants in your background, right? Just think about what is your what's the message that even your background is giving? Because yes, even the background of your image is giving an impression. Make sure that, if you have a plant or something, it's not coming out of your head, right? Like if I go like this, I start having a little hat or like the plant becomes my hair. So check that stuff out and also look at your face. And I know no one wants to look at their face more than they already do on Zoom. And then it, it brings all those complexes of, oh my God, do I really look like that? But this is the moment to just have a look at your face and realize you might have thought that you look totally put together, but you realize actually, my face looks washed out and I do need to put some lipstick on, or I do need to put some makeup on, because on Zoom it just, I don't look that put together. I kind of look like I just rolled out of bed even though I didn't. So definitely just the main tip is really to look at yourself before you go to this interview, whether it's in person or whether it is virtual on Zoom. Check yourself out, think about what you might want to fix, as opposed to just saying, oh yeah, here's the outfit I'll wear on the day, and you go for it, and then you realize, oh, actually I don't think I should have worn that, or my face looked like I just woke up in the morning. So think about those kinds of things. And for more advice on branding yourself in the new economy, definitely check out the free class that I made for you. I will put the link down below, and that covers all the steps towards figuring out what job would truly make you happy, and then how to land those types of roles. So I will put the link there, and thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video.